In Colombia, the governing party, the Democratic Center, said it would shred the peace accords. This policy left gaps on issues such as comprehensive rural reform, political reform, and the voluntary substitution of illicit crops. Our correspondent Hernan Tovar gives us the details.
Manuel remained for 15 years in the ranks of the former FARC-EP guerrillas. He's one of the more than 13,000 combatants who joined the peace process in 2016. His dreams and his conviction a year before this agreement became a reality, made him imagine a new country where reconciliation is now the weapon of peace, reason for which he left the war behind.
It meant a very important moment for our country, the possibility that in Colombia we can talk to each other, that in Colombia we have the possibility to respect each other for thinking differently, but it also means great things for me as a person, like Manuel, and that is to be reunited with my family, to be reunited with my friends.
They built this enterprise by joining forces with other ex-combatants. This project was created with a dream of making a company, initially brewing craft beer.
This is the project, which is a cultural house, a restaurant, a cafeteria and a bar, which was fundamentally founded on the basis of the economic savings of the members of this project. We have not received any financial, logistical or training support from the government.
The policies of Iván Duque's government and his party have put an obstacle not only to this project, but also to the desire of many to achieve peace.
The Democratic Center's first challenge will be to tear up that damn paper that they call the final agreement with the FARC.
This marked the route for the implementation of the peace accords in the hands of Iván Duque between 2018 and 2022. 6 crucial points that the government ignored and which prevented peace from being brought to the territories, and a comprehensive rural reform that remains stagnant, as shown by the figures provided by the signatories themselves.
I would say that less than 2% the distribution of those 3 million hectares that were agreed for farmers who do not have land, or in the title of the 7 million hectares that farmers who, even though have land, do not have titles over them, and therefore marginalized from the regular economy and the political reform. The government has not been able in these 4 years to present a political reform project, which was agreed, and that would have guaranteed that at this moment that we are electing a new Congress and that we'll be electing a new president, there would not be so many doubts and critics.
Another situation left by Duque's government is the lack of security guarantees for ex-combatants. During his administration, the number of homicides against signatories exceeded 180.
What is not being done either with the FARC or with social leaders is to guarantee their lives. In the case of former FARC combatants, it is dramatic because the government knows who they are and know that they have security schemes, yet they have been assassinated.
In addition to this scenario, other points of the peace accords are far from being fulfilled. The substitution of illicit crops have only reached 5.3% of the families linked to the program. According to the United Nations, drug production increased between 1,200 and 2,000 tons from 2020 and 2021, and while Duque defended his policy at the international level, more than 200 massacres were perpetrated, and between 2020 and 2020 alone, forced displacement affected close to 100,000 people, mostly Afro populations, farmers and indigenous communities.
Hernan Tovar, TeleSUR, Bogotá, Colombia.